It was just an ordinary night, the kind where your body just wants to get home and forget the world outside. I was coming back from work, walking through the long hallways of my building, lit by that cold white light that makes everything feel more like a hospital than a home. I stepped into the elevator, badge still hanging around my neck. And that's when I saw him, a delivery man, square backpack strapped to his back, black gloves, a motorcycle helmet with the visor down. He was standing right next to the control panel. I waited for him to press his floor first, but he didn't. Nothing. Just the hum of the elevator rising. And him, perfectly still, face hidden behind that dark reflective visor that caught the glow of the ceiling light. I pressed the button for the 17th floor. A few seconds later, he slowly lifted his arm and pressed the 20th. The soft click echoed louder than it should have. Each floor we passed felt heavier, quieter, like time itself was holding its breath. No breathing. No movement, just the faint sway of his body with the vibration of the elevator. When the doors opened on my floor, I stepped out quickly, trying to look calm. My keys were clenched tight between my fingers, the cold metal digging into my skin. My footsteps sounded too loud, bouncing off the walls of the hallway. Then I heard it, a faint scuff behind me. The sound of a shoe brushing against the floor. I turned. He was there, just a few doors away, standing still, helmet still on, facing me. My heart froze. He had pressed the 20th floor. I saw it, so why? Was he here? Panic crawled up my throat, but I forced myself to stay calm. I adjusted my hair, pretending not to notice, but every cell in my body was screaming, "Run." At the end of the hall, the door to the stairs, I didn't think twice. I walked toward it, steady steps, careful not to look like I was fleeing. I didn't care if he thought it was weird. Didn't care if he wondered why I was taking the stairs after using the elevator. All I cared about was getting away from him. I followed my gut. It never fails me. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I pushed through the stairwell door and let it slam behind me, the metallic echo ringing through the concrete walls. That sound, sharp and final, reminded me I was still alive. I rushed down one flight, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. A woman alone, in a silent hallway, late at night. Anything could happen, and the man, he still had that helmet on. He could have been anyone, any face hiding in the dark. I stopped on the 16th floor, trying to listen. Nothing. Just the faint hum of the elevator moving somewhere above. I waited, what felt like forever, before going back. The hallway was empty, but the elevator door was still open, as if someone had kept it from closing. In the days that followed, that image haunted me, the helmet, the stillness. I started noticing how many delivery drivers came through our lobby every day, all with identical bags, faces covered, and no one checking anything anymore. The security guards had stopped asking names, units, or reasons for entry. Anyone could walk in. Anyone. And now, every time the elevator opens, before I step inside, I look just to make sure no one's standing there, motionless, visor down, waiting. It was an ordinary night. I was home alone. My roommate had gone on a trip, and the house, which usually felt cozy, now seemed too big, filled with quiet corners. It was a ground floor house, and from the front door, you could see almost the entire living room. I kept a dim light on, just enough to see the entryway through the side window. I decided to order food. I was too tired to cook, and the silence of the house made me uneasy. I placed the order through the app, something quick, just to kill my hunger. In less than half an hour, the notification popped up. Your order has been delivered. I looked through the glass and saw the delivery guy walking away down the sidewalk. I grabbed the bag, thanked him in my head, and went back inside. Everything seemed normal. I ate, watched something without really paying attention, and started getting ready for bed. But about 40 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. The sound in that stillness felt louder than usual. I looked through the peephole. It was the same delivery guy. I opened the door just enough to talk to him. He was holding a new bag of food. "Good evening," he said with a faint smile. "Brought your other order." For a second, I thought I'd misheard him. "Another order?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Yeah," he said naturally. "Same name, same address." He lifted a receipt like it was proof, and the paper, crumpled and slightly smudged, had my name on it. Same name, same meal, but I hadn't ordered anything else. I stood there, unsure what to say. "Must have been a glitch in the app," I murmured. He shrugged. "Could be. But here it is. It's paid for." The way he spoke made me uneasy. His voice was too calm, like he'd rehearsed it. And while he talked, his eyes didn't stay on the receipt. They wandered inside my house, watching everything. The couch, the TV still on, the reflection of the light in the windows. I pulled the door slightly closer, instinctively, blocking his view. "You can just leave it there, I'll grab it." He didn't move. "You want me to set it on the table? It's a bit heavy." "No thanks." "Sure? I can just drop it off real quick." The pause between each sentence felt deliberate. He wasn't in a hurry to leave. Then, with a strange smile, he asked, "You live here alone?" My heart froze. "No," I lied, keeping my voice steady. "My roommate's in the shower." He nodded, but the smile didn't fade. "Oh, okay. Just seemed odd. I always see only you picking up the deliveries." That sentence echoed in my head. I always see only you. Finally, he crouched down, set the bag on the ground, and stepped back. "Here you go, then. Have a good night." I closed the door, heart pounding. I waited to hear the gate close, the sound of footsteps on the sidewalk. But nothing. I quietly walked to the side window. He was still there, standing on the sidewalk, his back to me. After a few seconds, he turned toward the house. The light from his phone flickered. He was taking a photo of the front of my house. I backed away quickly, trying to stop my hands from shaking. I waited in silence, counting breaths, until I finally heard the metallic click of the gate closing. As soon as I could breathe again, I called the police. I explained everything: the strange behavior, the fake receipt, the questions, the photo. The officer listened politely, but said there wasn't much they could do since no direct threat was made. They told me if he came back or showed signs of aggression, then I could file a report. They said it was probably just a misunderstanding with the app, but I knew what I'd seen. The way he looked inside the house, how he measured every step, how calm his smile was. I tried to explain, to repeat the details, but on the other end, there was only silence and impatience. The next few days were hell. Every shadow on the street made me hold my breath. Every sound of a motorcycle froze me in place. I started keeping all the curtains closed, even during the day. I checked his profile photo on the app, and the face looked familiar, but not quite. Younger, like it was him. Years ago, or maybe someone else entirely, I stopped ordering food altogether. For years, I was terrified of hearing the doorbell again, of someone standing there saying, "I brought your order." Eventually, I had to move out. I couldn't sleep anymore, and the fear had started to grow roots inside me. The doctors called it panic disorder, but to me, it was just the echo of that night. The sound of the doorbell still rings in my head. I was 24 and lived alone in an apartment building. My place faced the street directly, with large windows that let in the yellow glow of the streetlights. From there, I could see everything. The road, the shadows moving, the faint hum of cars passing through the late-night silence. I worked as a bartender in a nightclub just a few blocks away, and usually got home exhausted, always late at night. That night, after nearly 12 hours on my feet, my body ached and my stomach growled. I decided to order food, lit a cigarette, and put on a movie while I waited. Since the isolation period during the pandemic, I'd kept the habit of contactless delivery. The driver would leave the food at the door, take a photo, and leave. It was simple, safe, and had never gone wrong. Time moved slowly. The kind of silence that only exists when you live alone began to settle over the apartment. Then my phone buzzed. "Your order has been delivered." I opened the app and saw the photo, the bag resting neatly by my door. I waited a few minutes before getting up. I always wait. It's instinct. I like to hear footsteps fading away, a car starting, the gate closing. But this time, nothing. No sound. I looked out the side window, the one facing the path that led to the entrance. The corridor was empty, but near the fence, in the shadow, there was something. A shape. The delivery guy was still there, standing still, staring at his phone. I thought maybe he was updating the app, so I waited a little longer. But he didn't leave. Minutes passed, and then my phone buzzed again. "You can come get it. I'm waiting for you." My stomach turned to ice. I typed quickly. "That's okay. Thanks. I'll grab it in a minute." He read it and replied, "It's cold out here. You should come soon." I looked out the window again. He wasn't standing in the same place anymore. He'd moved, leaning against the wall now, a few steps closer, as if trying to find a better angle to see me. The glow from his phone partially lit up his face. He wasn't checking the app. He was watching. I replied, trying to sound casual. "I'll wait a little. You can just leave it there." Then he sent another message. "Are you going to take long?" A chill ran down my spine. I never told him anything about me. I closed the curtains slowly, trying not to show panic. Seconds later, I checked again. He was still there, but now his expression looked impatient, his fingers moving quickly over his phone. My whole body froze. I typed fast into the app. I set it as contactless because I'm sick. I don't want to infect anyone. A lie, but it was the only excuse I could come up with. It took him a while to respond. Then, "Oh, I see. But your food's going to get cold." I heard a sound. Something being pushed along the ground. The bag. He'd moved it, sliding it right up against my door. From the muffled noise, I knew he was still standing very close. I waited. 1, 2, 3 minutes. No footsteps walking away. I peeked through the curtains again, and this time I saw him clearly. Standing farther back now, near the sidewalk, facing my window. He didn't talk, didn't move. Just stood there, staring at my apartment. My heart was pounding in my ears. My breathing got short and heavy. The faint flash of his phone lit his face in intervals, frozen, emotionless. Then I saw it. Another figure approaching from the side of the parking lot. They started talking quietly, laughing at something I couldn't hear. And the worst part, they both kept looking toward my door. With shaking hands, I typed, "All good. I already grabbed the food. Thank you." Another lie. I just wanted them to leave. For a few seconds, nothing. Then, finally, the read notification. And silence. I saw him crouch down, place the bag right in front of my door again, and step back. He and the other man stayed there for a while still, as if waiting for something. Then they disappeared into the darkness, heading toward the parking lot. I waited over 20 minutes before I dared to open the door. The corridor was deserted. The street, empty. I grabbed the bag, the food was cold, and closed the door fast. The sound of the lock turning was the only thing that felt safe. I locked everything. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it. The feeling of being watched lingered in the air, thick, as if his presence had soaked into the walls. The next morning, I opened the app to leave a review. The name matched my order, but the delivery driver's photo was of a different man. Older, darker skinned, wearing a red cap. It wasn't him. I filed a complaint. Support apologized and said only, "We'll review the case internally." No explanation. No response.